Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Silent Hill. In the last part, we finished off the game and got the good plus ending, and now we're right before the final boss because it's time for us to go for the other endings. We're starting off with just the good endings, so Kaufman's been seen in the resort area, but Cybil has not been saved.
Well, well, well. To think you'd make it this far.
Where's Cheryl? What have you done to her?
What are you talking about? You've seen her many times, restored to her former self.
I'm in no mood for jokes.
Don't you see? She's right there.
That's absurd.
You are the only one who thinks so.
Why? Why are you doing this?
It's been a long 7 years. For the 7 years since that terrible day, Alessa has been kept alive, suffering a fate worse than death. Alessa has been trapped in an endless nightmare from which she never awakens. He has been nurtured by that nightmare, waiting for the day to be born. That day has finally come. The time is nigh. Everyone will be released from pain and suffering. Our salvation is at hand. This is the day of reckoning, when all our sorrows will be washed away. When we return to the true paradise, my daughter will be the mother of God.
Quit screwing around. Return things to how they were before.
Kaufman!
Did I ask for this? Nobody uses me. You won't get away with this.
Your role is over. We don't need you anymore. What do you think you could accomplish by coming here?
My, aren't we getting cocky? Bet you can't see this and keep it.
Aglaophotis! I thought I got rid of that!
All I had to do was plant it somewhere for you to find. You all, well, kept you busy. Ah, you're easy. And there's more where this came from.
Stop it!
Huh? What the?
As you can see, Cybil wasn't in that cutscene at all because I didn't save her, I only saved Kaufman. Kaufman is what determines good versus bad ending. Now, something I didn't bring up last part when we were fighting the Incubus is that if you come in here with no ammo, you might seem like you're screwed because you can't reach this boss with any melee weapons. But you're not. They've programmed a fail-safe in both final bosses because there's a final boss for the bad ending combos. Where if you come in with no ammo or you run out of ammo, the bosses will automatically die somewhere after like 30 seconds to a minute, somewhere in that range. So it just becomes making sure you have enough healing items to survive what attacks the Incubus and the other final boss will throw at you. As you can see, dodging's kinda hard. But, oh well, it's ultimately still this final boss, so as long as you have enough ammo or healing items, it's just a war of attrition at that point. And I believe this next shot is what does it. Or no? Close enough. And that's the normal good ending, arguably the canon ending for Silent Hill 1. Theme song for the credits of this ending is Killing Time, which is my favorite credits theme from this particular game. So I've already talked about what causes the main 4 endings to happen, but let's talk about the rankings at the end of the credits. As I mentioned, there is a max rank of 10 stars last time, and the way you get that is by beating the game on normal or hard mode, getting upwards of 5 or more game clears on a single save, getting the best ending, doing 2 or fewer saves, dying a maximum of 1 time, beating the game in under an hour and a half, getting at least 150 out of the 204 items alongside the 5 or 6 special items you get for beating the game multiple times. You need to at least get a certain amount of enemies killed according to a formula and have taken out a certain amount of enemies via shooting via a certain formula. I forget the exact, I want to say you get more points the more enemies you kill either way, but at that point you need to just worry about getting a certain amount of time in. There are playthroughs on YouTube that I believe get all 10 stars, and there is a reason to do that outside of just bragging rights, but it goes into the weapons you get for beating the game, so let's talk about that. The first thing you get for beating the game no matter what is a gas canister that's at the gas station near the church after the school. And you can use that to fuel one of two weapons at a time, but you can get both by just beating the game twice after that. The first one's the rock drill, which you find underneath the bridge control room in a little room down there, which is a short-range weapon that has a lot of knockback, but you can't move while using it. You can also use the gas tank on a chainsaw on the same street as said gas station, which isn't very effective at reaching high enemies, but it has a constant hitbox in front of you, so it can be useful for that. There's also the katana, which you need to... the information on how you get the katana is a little split on the internet. Some people think you need to beat the game on hard mode. I think what you might have to do is get a good ending and a bad ending, and you get that in the house where you use the 3 Wizard of Oz keys near the start of the game. It's an extremely powerful melee weapon, but you move forward when you're using it, whenever you slash it, so you need to kind of place yourself quickly to get any good hits off on it. And the final's the Hyper Blaster. We'll talk more about that during the final of the 5 endings in the game, though, because it's more directly relevant to that ending. So in this ending, Harry escapes with his new daughter in tow, but it's just him who makes out of that all mess alive. With that, now it's time for us to start going after the 2 bad endings. And I figured this would be the best place to show off the cutscenes that happen during the Cybil fight if you decide to actually fight her, which if you're going for either the neutral endings, the bad or good ending, is technically needed. As I mentioned during the fight, she can take some punishment, but she just tends to slap you with her gun or shoot you directly until she runs out of ammo, at which point she'll just go for some strangleholds. I'm going to cut past the fight, though, because it's honestly the least interesting boss fight in the game. The most interesting thing about it is the cutscene that happens after you beat her. There's really not much of this fight. Like, me using the red liquid on her just skipped a tedious fight, really. What in the hell? How could this have happened? Well, you see, Harry, it's what happens if you point something that shoots bullets at someone and pull the trigger enough times. Not exactly sure what you expected to happen in that case, but oh well. From there, the cutscene proceeds onwards as normal, and you just get sent to nowhere, whether or not you have saved Kaufman.
Dahlia.
Well, well, well. To think you'd make it this far.
Where's Cheryl? What have you done to her?
What are you talking about? You've seen her many times, restored to her former self.
I'm in no mood for jokes.
Don't you see? She's right there.
That's absurd.
You are the only one who thinks so.
Why? Why are you doing this?
It's been a long 7 years. For the 7 years since that terrible day, Alessa has been kept alive, suffering a fate worse than death. Alessa has been trapped in an endless nightmare from which she never awakens. He has been nurtured by that nightmare, waiting for the day to be born. That day has finally come. The time is nigh. Everyone will be released from pain and suffering. Our salvation is at hand. This is the day of reckoning, when all our sorrows will be washed away. When we return to the true paradise. My daughter will be the mother of God. It's awakening. It's awake. Now no one can interfere.
Cheryl!
Give up. That person no longer exists. This is a god descended among us to reach out and save us!
And now for the bad ending final boss against the Incubator. With that said, it's more or less the same boss fight. I don't think you can get too close to it without it doing damage to you. So it's just a bullet sponge that if you run out of ammo of, it'll just die eventually anyway. It hurts, but it doesn't hurt as much, I think, as the Incubus, and I think it might have less health, period. I believe we're starting off with the bad plus ending from memory, so on this playthrough, I not only didn't save Cybil, I didn't go to save Kaufman. In fact, you wouldn't need to save Kaufman at all to get the bad ending. It's a cooler looking boss fight. In fact, it's the only time Silent Hill gets this outright, like, holy looking. But it's still a relatively straightforward fight. I was a little strapped for resources on this particular playthrough, but oh well, it doesn't matter.
Daddy.
Cheryl!
Thank you, Daddy. Goodbye.
Cheryl? Can't be. Can't leave like this. This can't be happening. Cheryl! Cheryl!
And from there, we're thrown right into the ending credits. I'm not going to talk too much over this particular play of them because I like the song a lot. I believe this is Esperandotes is how you pronounce this particular credits theme. So I'll just meet you guys after the credits for the ending.
Estoy soñando, sí, solo imagino, todo es real, ojalá que así lo fuera, es solo otro día, otra noche fría, no sé si me buscas o si me esperas, puedo ver en tus ojos y también tu rostro. Quiero verme amada y dormirme abrazada. Dime que me quieres, dilo por favor. No puedo dejarte y menos olvidarte. No puedo saber qué quieres de mí. Puedo tocarte, incluso verte, ven hacia mí. Vamos más cerca, puedo sentirte tan cerca de mí. No me persigas, no lo soporto, porque me torturas, ¿qué quieres de mí? Dime quién eres, dime dónde estás, ¿qué quieres de mí? ¿Qué necesitas de mí? No puedo saberlo, ¿qué quieres de mí? Dime quién eres.
So in the bad ending, Harry's joke earlier about being in a car crash is right. It's all a dying dream. Easily the most depressing ending, probably in the series, honestly. You know, there is some really downer stuff in the later games as well. I'm thinking of the second game in particular. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching. And in part 13, we're going to end the LP off with the bad plus ending and the special ending. See you guys then.